They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am a playwright, a novelist, and a publisher of a magazine called Rover Report Monthly. I am also the CEO of Rover Report Monthly, the CEO of Roverman Productions. And at Roverman Productions, we produce a live theater at the National Theatre once every quarter. And our this quarter's production is a play entitled Nicholas. Now, it's not Nicholas, it's Nicholas. It is the first time we are doing a play about a real person, a living Ghanaian, one of the incredible Ghanaians of our generation. And it will be wonderful if you can join us. So thank you very much for joining us wherever and however you are watching us. You can watch us also on YouTube and on Periscope. And please invite your friends to join us and to like my page. Now, since September, we have been on a quest. It is a quest to discover more about love, to learn more about love and marriage and relationship. And for this quest, what we have done is that we have been using the English alphabet. We have, every week, we pick one letter in the English alphabet, and then we try to see how many words we can pick from that begin with that letter, and then we see what we can learn about love, marriage, and sex and relationship. And from that, so far we have done A to H. We have done A to H. Of course, that means that we have a few more letters to go. And today we are on the letter I, the letter I. And the I words that we're going to consider this for this session are I for institution, I for infidelity, I for institution, and I for infidelity. There are many more I words that we would like to consider. For instance, I for interdependence, I for investment, I for income, I for immune, and so on. I for intimacy, but we'll see whether we can make a part 2 of this or possibly go on to the other letters and hope that we can cover what we couldn't cover in the other areas. Now, so let's begin with I for institution. Let me give you a scenario. A young man and a young lady meet, they fall in love, they date, they court, and they're having so much fun. They're enjoying each other so much. They can't seem to get more than enough of each other. And then anytime they have to say goodbye, it becomes so painful and so difficult. So one day it occurs to them, hang on, why do we have to say goodbye? Why don't we get married? Because as soon as we get married, then we wouldn't have to say goodbye. And like many young people before them, and many young people after them, they get swept by the feelings they have for each other, and they do get married. Now, a few years after marriage, or in recent times, a few months, if not weeks after marriage, they discover that things are not the same. The two people who could not have enough of each other now cannot stand to be in the company of each other. One party spends half of the night crying, the other party wondering what has gone wrong. Now at that point, they are likely to come to the conclusion, we made a mistake. I married the wrong person. I married the wrong person. And then two things can happen. They either part ways, or, as is more common, they continue to live together and make a pretense of being married, whilst living with quiet desperation and frustration, and also with resentment towards one another. So what has gone wrong with this couple? They knew each other, they loved each other. Why have things gone south? Well, did they make a mistake? They made a mistake. But they did not make a mistake in marrying one another. That's not a mistake. They love each other. The mistake they made is this. They did not realize that dating and courtship is very different from marriage. They did not realize that dating and courtship is very different from marriage. Now, let me give you an illustration that may make this point clear. Let's say that a little boy is walking past a school at a time when the school is on break, on midday break. And so the children are out there running, laughing, and having so much fun. And the little boy looks at how much fun they are having, and he tells the mom, "Mom, I want to go to school. I want to go to school." So in the little boy saying that, he's looking at the fun they are having, and he thinks that he knows. He plays at home. He knows how much fun it is to play. Now he looks at this school with all these children, and he thinks that now, if I come to school, I'll have more playmates, I would have bigger space, I'll even have more to play with. So I'll have more people to play with, and I'll have more to play with as well. Now, the little boy, if he gets his wish, is enrolled in school and discovers that school is not all about play. School is not all about play. There are lessons. There are things you need to learn. There are rules. There are regulations. There are things you can do and not do. He can no longer run to mom whenever he wants to. He can no longer scream and shout whenever he wants to because he's in school. What am I saying? Remember I said the I word we are considering today is I for institution. Marriage is an institution. It is an institution ordained by God, but it is an institution nonetheless. And like every other institution, it has its rules, it has its don'ts, it has its do's. Now, in every institution is set up to help you, to be a blessing to you, as long as you honor that institution. So, for instance, you come to a company like MTN, from whose premises we are coming to you. They have a dress code. They have working hours. They have targets they give you, they expect you to meet. Now, if you do not honor these, then you're going to be in trouble with the institution. But if you do, you're going to have a fantastic time working with MTN, just like it is in every other place. And that is the case with marriage. Marriage has its rules. It has its regulations. And if you don't play by those rules, then your marriage is going to be hell. Marriage that is supposed to be a blessing will become hellish for you. So we'll look at a few rules of marriage, of the institution that is called marriage, and see what we can learn from them. Now I'm going to take for reference from the Bible, because if marriage is ordained from God, then let's go into what is called the Word of God, the Bible. And I'm going to point you to a chapter, a book in the Bible, in the New Testament, called Ephesians, the 5th chapter. So Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 5. We'll pick it from verse 22. Now the interesting thing is that in Ephesians chapter 5, it has regulations for both the man and the woman. And it begins with the woman. And this is what it says. Wives, submit to your own husbands as unto the Lord. Wives, submit to your own husbands as unto the Lord. And you find that in Ephesians 5:22. Now, I know that a lot of women have had issues with this. Unfortunately, in the institution of marriage, just as in every other institution, for instance, if you are part of an institution or a school, and you get in there and you say, I don't want the dress code, it won't change for you. You would have to adjust for it. An institution makes a demand on you, and this is non-negotiable. You can either honor that institution by living up to it, or you can decide that as for you, you don't give a damn. So, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as unto the Lord. If you're a woman, you can decide that, no, why should I submit myself to my husband? Or you can understand that this is the institution of marriage. I don't have a choice in this. It is non-negotiable. I am either submitting to the man I call my husband, or I cannot call myself a wife. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And it doesn't matter what arguments you come with. If you refuse to live by this, what will happen is that you will discover that your marriage would always have issues and will have problems. But it is not just the women who have a directive on whom the institution of marriage makes a demand. It makes even greater demands on the man. And in the same chapter, Ephesians chapter 5, when you pick it from verse 25, this is what it says. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her. Now, that is the institution of marriage making the demand on you if you are called a husband. The standard for a husband here is as Christ loved the church. Now, so you can't marry someone and just decide that, you know what, I'll treat my wife anyhow I like. No. The institution has made a demand on you. Just as you can't be a part of certain education institutions and decide to dress anyhow you like, or go to lectures whenever you like and walk out whenever you like, or decide when you want to write your exams and when you don't want to write your exams. It's the same thing here. So that is what it says. And with the husbands, it goes even further. And it says this, that husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. And then it goes on, he who loves his wife loves himself. He who loves his wife loves himself. And that is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 28. Again, marriage is speaking. The institution of marriage is making the demand on the man. And it goes on to say that for this reason, a man will leave his father and his mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. There are three components to this directive on the husband in the institution of marriage. One is leaving father and mother. I define that and I interpret that as leaving every social support structure that you have depended on in the past. And that is why I say that if you are a husband and you put your parents above your wife or your friends above your wife, then you really, seriously do not understand what it means to call yourself a husband. If you're a husband, you are called upon to leave every social support structure you depended on before you married. Now, when you have done that, does it mean now you have nothing to fall back on, nothing to lean on? No. It goes on. The second aspect to the directive is that be united to your wife. That is where the two of you become one. Your support now is your wife. We need to understand that in marriage, in the institution of marriage, the husband and the wife are supposed to be one unit and depend on each other completely, not on any other thing. So those who are married and they do boys, be careful, because what you should do is not boys. What you should be doing is wife. You and your wife must begin to find a way of spending your time together, supporting each other, because in marriage, in the institution of marriage, it is not one person depend on another. It's interdependence. I realize that, especially in Ghana, because of our social structure, where the man is supposed to financially take care of the wife, it gets to the point where the men begin to feel, especially when their wives are not working, that their wives are dependents, and they treat them as such. And I think it is unfortunate. Listen, your wife may not be working, and you may be the only one bringing in the money, but it doesn't mean she's dependent upon, she's your dependent. Because you also depend on her. But for the home she creates for you, you will not have the peace of mind to go out there every day and bring in the money. But for the food she cooks for you, you will not have the health and the energy to continue doing what you are doing. But for the comfort she gives you in bed, trust me, tension and stress would have killed you. So it is an interdependent relationship. No matter whether she's bringing in money or not, money is not the only thing. You bring in the money, but she also supports you in other ways. So that is the institution of marriage. And that one, it is not subject to negotiation. It is not subject to what you think or not. But this is the thing. Once you honor the institution of marriage, once you give yourself fully to this institution, and you decide that I will honor this institution, then all the blessings of being in this institution comes your way. Remember what the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. That happens only when you are honoring the institution called marriage. And when you do that, then you will discover that marriage is far bigger than you have thought. Marriage gives you immunity in life. It makes you immune to a lot of the problems in life, a lot of the headaches in life, a lot of the temptations and pitfalls in life. You consider every great man who has lost his position, who has fallen into disgrace. If that great man had honored his marriage, he would not have found himself in that situation. So this week I was telling the team that worked with me when I was discussing what I'm going this presentation. I told them that there are times when I meet a young lady, somebody who I wish I could spend some time with. I wish I could get out of town with and spend some good time with. But I have also resolved never to lie to my wife. So the headache now is, how do I go to my wife and say that, I've met somebody and I'm very excited, I'd like to spend a weekend with her. So we're going to Takwa. Because, by the way, there's a hotel in Takwa that is ready to give me free accommodation and things like that. And because I cannot go to my wife and say that, I do not act on the feeling. Now, in almost all cases, a few months down the line, or even a year or so down the line, I have come to discover the true nature of this person I was so excited about, and I've been shocked that really she was like that. And then I begin to think, my goodness, imagine what would have happened if I had followed through with what I wanted, I was yearning for. So marriage becomes a protection for anybody who is doing the right thing. A protection physically, but the bigger news and the most exciting news is it becomes your protection spiritually as well. Once you marry, and you are honoring the institution of marriage, your wife becomes your cover, you become her cover. That is a wonderful thing, and you won't get it anyway. So that brings us to the first I word, I for institution. Marriage is an institution established by God. It's interesting that Jesus explained this concept of marriage being an institution that made demands on you. He explained it to his disciples. And you know what they said? They exclaimed and said, Lord, if that is how it is, then it is better that nobody marries. That is why nobody should rush into marriage. Marry because you are ready. Marry knowing full well the demands it makes on you. Don't marry and think that, I can go and do my own thing. You can't do your own thing in marriage and still call it marriage. So be careful. And in this, I'd like to make a special appeal to churches. Let us stop pushing the young ladies to go and get married. Let us stop pushing people. Yanawari, hurry up and get married. It doesn't help. Nobody can be more eager to be married than the unmarried person. So let's honor them. Let's honor their timetable. And let them take their time to be aware, to be able to take the step only when they know that they are really, really ready. So that brings me to the second I word. And that is I for infidelity. I for infidelity. I'd like to make a few preliminary comments on this. I am making this presentation, this aspect on infidelity, not to those who are already caught in infidelity. For them, it may be too late. But it is for the many, many, and thank God many, who are in committed relationships who have never cheated, who so far have been faithful. And there are many in committed relationships that would be upset at even the suggestion that they could cheat, because they know themselves and say, me, I will never cheat in my relationship. Well, unfortunately, none of us is immune to infidelity. Nobody who is caught in infidelity set out and told himself, me, I am going to cheat in my relationship. No, it didn't happen that way. They found themselves in that. And that is why it is important for us to pay attention, especially if you are not there, and to note that you are not immune, that it is very easy to cross the line into infidelity, and you've got to beware. The other comment I want to make before I go into it is this. There's this myth that says that people who are caught in infidelity are people who are in terrible relationships. Well, again, I have bad news for you. That is not true. A research found that 65% of those caught in infidelity said they were happy in their relationships. 65%. They said they loved their spouses, and yet they were caught caught cheating. So don't think that if somebody is having an affair, it's because their relationship is not working. No. There are people who are carrying on an affair, their relationships are working. We'll discover why they do that. The next comment I'd like to make is that there is life after infidelity. So if your relationship, your marriage has been hit by infidelity, don't give up. Don't throw your hands up. Of course, it will not be easy. It will take time. But there is definitely life after infidelity. And then, don't blame yourself if your partner cheats on you. I think it is one of the most painful things about infidelity, that the victim often begins to look at himself and say, I think I did not do right, or maybe I have not pleased him. No. He would have cheated anyhow. So I'm going to go over 4 reasons why, and men and women cheat. You know, there's been this argument, who cheats even more, men or women? The issue is that we all cheat the same way. You remember that song, this one, the men and women cheat to the same rate, except that women are more clever in concealing their cheating. It is much more difficult to catch a woman having an affair. Indeed, if you catch a woman having an affair, it is because she wanted you to catch her. Otherwise, you won't catch her down. So don't think that men are more guilty. Okay, so let's look at why men cheat. So except that men and women, we cheat to the same degree, but we cheat for different reasons. So why do men cheat? Well, men cheat because the first reason men cheat is because they are insecure. When a man feels that he's losing it, he feels that I'm putting on a little bit more weight. I am not as smart as I used to be. My 6 packs are vanishing and things like that. He begins to look for affirmation, and he begins to act. He begins to look for. So as soon as somebody shows him how wonderful he is and how excited she is about him, he's a goner. So insecurity leads men to cheat. The second is that he's damaged. He's damaged. Childhood experiences, possibly even parental neglect, leaves a certain hole in a person, in a man, and then he goes from one relationship to the other, searching for something that none of the people he's running after can give him. The third, he cheats because he is bored or overworked. Yes, I know. The two seems like opposites, bored or overworked. But each of them has the same effect on a man. When a man is bored, he'll begin to look for some excitement. When a man is overworked, he begins to look for a release. And sometimes what comes for him, readily for him, is to do an affair. The fourth reason is because he wants out. It is possible he's come to the point where he said, I think I would like to walk away. And he's not being bold enough to confront the issue. So he's doing this, hoping that his wife will be so upset that the wife would move on. So those are the 4 reasons men cheat. Let's look at 4 reasons why women cheat. Women cheat because they feel ignored and neglected. They feel ignored and neglected. And unfortunately, it happens too many times in marriages that husbands tend to think that I have married you, so it's okay. Now I don't need to woo you anymore. I don't need to celebrate you. I don't need to appreciate you. I don't need to show affection. Now when that happens, the next person who shows affection is likely to take your woman. Not because she's a bad woman. It's the way they are wired. You've just got to protect yourself and your relationship by making sure that your wife knows she's not neglected, she's not ignored. Otherwise, she will look for a shoulder to cry on, a shoulder to lean on. And the interesting thing with shoulders to lean on is that a shoulder to lean on can easily become a bed to cheat on. So let's be careful. The second reason, she wants intimacy. She wants intimacy. Women never get enough of intimacy. And sometimes we marry them and we think that, oh, okay, courtship is over. Let's now settle down. No. Even with the children in, don't stop showing intimacy to your wife. Otherwise, you will find a situation where, we say it in Ghana, there will be ayefinoche at your expense. Now, the other one is that she feels bored or lonely. Did you know that one of the reasons a lot of women marry is because of loneliness? They hate loneliness. Women don't know how to deal with loneliness. So she's marrying. The primary reason why she wanted to marry is because she doesn't want to feel lonely. Then she marries and you keep leaving her and you will not stay in touch with her and things like that. Hey, then why did she marry? Did she go or did she come, as we say in Ghana? So that's another reason she's lonely. And finally, because she doesn't feel loved or appreciated. Those are the 4 reasons. Now, I'd like us to spend some time looking at how do you foolproof your relationship from infidelity, and then we would end. This has become, I think, one of my longest presentations, and I apologize very much. So let me quickly finish this. The first way to foolproof your marriage and your relationship is don't rush into marriage. Sometimes the reasons people begin to look for outside their relationship is that they did not take the decision to marry carefully and consciously. And 2, don't dismiss any warning signs. Cheating does not happen overnight. There's always some warning signs. And confront the warning signs when they come. 3, make your relationship and yourselves accountable to third parties, be they a church or a mentor or even parents, so that regularly the parents can make an input and find out how are the 2 of you getting on. 4, just accept the fact that you are vulnerable. Accept the fact that you too can cheat, so that you don't, it doesn't take you unawares. Once you have that awareness and know, then you won't take certain chances. You'll be careful and not. Now, 5th, take time to communicate. Take time to make a commitment that in our relationship, we would always listen to each other. We'll talk through issues. We will not bury issues. We will not run away from issues. We will deal with issues as and when they happen. 6, look for ways of keeping your relationship fresh and exciting, always. Especially if you have been married for a long time and the children are in, the chances are that you are investing all your time with the children. Wrong move. The children will one day leave home and they will leave the 2 of you. So invest in each other. Invest in this relationship. Find ways of making it interesting. Find ways of making it fresh. 7, never tire of complimenting each other. Let each other know what you think of each other. Compliment each other so that when somebody compliments your partner in town, it doesn't sound exciting or sweet because he would have already received it from you. 8, don't withhold sex from each other. Don't. And never use sex as a tool. Don't use sex as a tool. Ephraim is saying I should say it again. Mrs. Ephraim, ask him questions for me whether you are denying, because I know you don't do that to him. So why is he excited about this? So when he comes home today, please ask him questions about it. But it is unfortunate that some couples use sex as a tool to get at each other. It's such a wrong thing. And then avoid what I call the stable relationship syndrome. This is where your relationship has become stable, and so because of that, you take each other for granted. You, the man, you are no longer dressing well. You become sloppy. The woman is also no longer dressing up. She has also become sloppy. You take each other for granted. You serve each other casually and things like that. You are treading on very dangerous grounds, and you could lose a person. And finally, 10, keep intimacy alive. Keep intimacy alive in your relationship. Keep intimacy alive in your marriage, and all will be well. So those are the 2 I words for today. Unfortunately, we can't do more. There were many more I words. I for marriage, and I for infidelity. I hope it's been a blessing to you, and I would like to thank you very much for joining us. Once again, I thank MTN for hosting us for today. The last Friday of every month, we come into the MTN, wonderful MTN edifice, and to do this. And this is coming to you from that. And then you can text 46 to 300 to subscribe to Uncle WHYTE motivational videos on MTN Play. Or you can visit mtnplay.com.gh to subscribe to interesting motivational videos from Uncle WHYTE. The top 2 subscribers get tickets to watch my quarterly shows. And then remember, this quarter, my play, Nicholas, is running. And the advance tickets are out there. You can, if you exercise your right to buy a ticket today or this weekend, you'll get it at 60%. After this weekend, you'll pay the full price for it. So I'll pause here so I can take your questions.
Uncle Ebo, we welcome you once again to MTN House.
Is that the voice of Hetty?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Hetty, come on camera. Viewers, you remember that the last month we promised you that Hetty will come on camera just as Joel did and did brilliantly. Joel was fantastic on camera. And today we're going to get Hetty on camera. Is she on camera yet?
Uncle Ebo, we first of all want to say thank you for the presentation, and we also want to say a big thank you to those for everybody that's been watching us. Mami Ama, Gugu Vida, Juliet Akakpo, Ruben Dodu, Sandy Tufor, Na Amua, Andra from London, Yaira Mensa, Daniel Donko, Joachim, Dorothy, and Abina Asamoah. All right,
now on your screen now will be the beautiful, elegant Hetty. Hetty, like Joel, got married very, very recently. Hetty, how long ago was it?
2 months.
Okay, Hetty's been married for 2 months. And you're out of honeymoon yet, or you are still in honeymoon?
I'm out.
All right. Hetty, what has been your experience so far of marriage?
My experience?
Yeah.
It's nice. As you said, it's a wonderful institution.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on how you play it.
Yeah.
I'll use the word play because 2 parties come together and there are certain roles and responsibilities. So how you play it will determine what goes on in there. So if you want to be happy, you play it well. If you want to be sad, you play it bad.
Yeah. No, that's well said. What would your husband say about the journey so far?
Oh, for him, he's excited about it.
Of course, you have to be excited. You have to be excited. We would have had to take him for some treatment if he wasn't excited. Joel, how is Hetty doing so far? Joel is running away from the camera. Well, Hetty, you and your husband, I wish you a wonderful, wonderful marriage.
Thank you.
I pray that your honeymoon will never end. Laughter will never end in your relationship.
Amen.
And I pray that the excitement the two of you have today would go with you to the very end of your days.
Amen. Uncle, I would like to share a few things, though.
All right, please go ahead. Go ahead. Wonderful, wonderful, super.
No, but as you said with the last session, I think with marriage, everyone needs to manage their expectations.
Yes.
Yes. And to our viewers out there, I think counseling is a very good thing. And if you have inspirational people like Uncle WHYTE with you almost every last day of the month and even every Friday with ENCORE, I think we can learn a whole lot from him. It's very good. One thing that I would also like to add is that yes, churches do well with counseling sessions, but I think the family should also take on some form of counseling to help their wards, be it the man or the woman, to play their roles very well.
At least to prepare them
exactly.
for the journey they are about to embark on.
Yes. Yes.
Great, that's super. Guys, why don't you give an applause to Hetty? All right. So, Hetty, do we have any questions? Let's get going.
Okay, I'm off the camera now.
All right. Yes.
We want to give more shout outs to Naanyele Vidi, Nana Ekuya Sechibia, Omar Yeni, Christiana Jemfi, Nana Frimpoma, You Nice Anafi, Dorothy, and Frimpong Hannah. Uncle, our first question is from Asantwa Ado.
Yeah.
Uncle, please elaborate on how to submit, especially in this generation when the women are financially supporting the home.
Well, it is not only in this generation that we've had issues with submit. It's all over the years, it's always been difficult. So what does it mean to submit? It means that, listen, look at your home as a vehicle. There must be one driver. And in this case, the driver is the man. And don't become a backseat driver. So there must be openness, there must be negotiation, there must be discussion. But finally, for any decision, defer to the decision of the man. When the man says, I've listened to you, I've heard your side, I've received your input, but this is how I want us to do it. Go along with it. It also means respect. Submitting also means respect. Show respect to your man. A lot of men complain, my wife has no respect for me, and that is not good enough. Respect your man. So those are the two ingredients of submission.
Okay, Uncle, we have a question from Juliet Akapo. She says, hi, Uncle. Please, should you tell your spouse if someone you consider a friend showers you with affection and attention and makes subtle advances, or should you, out of respect for your spouse, not tell your spouse, but try to resolve it yourself and manage your friendship?
none of the above. Just break that relationship. It will not help you. Again, sometimes we think that, oh, I will not cross the line. I will not cross the line. But I'm telling you, it is very easy to cross the line. So if somebody you consider a friend has already shown indications that he is interested in you, it is in your interest to call it off, to shut it down. So shut it down. Shut it down. So you don't find yourself in an unfortunate and painful situation a few months down the line.
From Daniela, Uncle, someone once said that some men cheat on their wives with their house helps because the house helps are submissive. How true is that?
Oh, I've also heard that men cheat with with their housewives because it's the housewife who feeds them. You know, in a lot of relationships, the wives become too busy, too occupied, and don't serve the men anymore. And now they give it to the housewife. So they call the housewife and say, hey, daddy is coming home, prepare this for him, or do this for him. So he gets home, and it's only the housewife who is there, who satisfies his physical hunger. So when he finishes that, then it's like, okay, so what about the other one as well? So, no, there's no, these are all excuses, these are silly. A man would cheat not because of anything. He would cheat because, you remember the 4 reasons I gave? He's either insecure, he's damaged, or he's bored, overworked, or frankly, he wants out.
Okay, Uncle, we have a question from Isaac Kofi Esando. He says, Uncle Ebo, please, how do I handle a wife who hasn't left her mother, left in quotes, everything she tells her mother?
Wow. Well, the interesting thing about the Ephesians thing that I gave, that for this reason a man shall leave his husband, you realize that there's no mention of the woman. There's no mention of the woman. It is a man who was called upon to leave. So manage this situation well. Don't be bothered about what she tells the mother. Just make sure you are the right person and you are doing your role. And it wouldn't matter her relationship with her mother.
Okay, Bandia Esinam, we see you. King Solomon, Ofoli Amegavi, Amahili, Adjoa Danswa, Georgia Nkansa, Marcia Raid, Echa Jemfi, Charity, Jacqueline Nelson, Honey Flo, and Gifty Obobi. We see you all. Our next question is from Nana Ifwa Aferi. Uncle Ebo, how do you recover from the pain after you find out your partner has been unfaithful?
Oh, that is always painful, but give yourself time. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. You've been hurt. Give yourself, go through the grieving period. Don't deny it. Don't deny your pain. Go through the grieving period. Give yourself time to heal. And then remember that an affair kills a relationship. So the relationship you had before is dead. Now, you and your spouse have an opportunity, if you so wish, to begin a new one. One that could have all the elements that would foolproof it from an occurrence of this. Much also depends on your partner. If your partner shows remorse and is prepared to cut off what he's doing and to amend his ways, then it is easier. The challenge comes when he doesn't want to walk away from that which he has done. That one is painful and difficult. But don't blame yourself. Give yourself time. It is not easy, but it is possible.
Okay, so from the MTN page, we have Esther Sapon. Esther is asking, Uncle, are you a reverend?
No. I fear to be a reverend. I admire those who call themselves reverend, men of God. I am not. I'm just a simple guy who has made a lot of mistakes in his life and who has decided to make his mistakes useful by sharing his experiences with you. So I am not talking from a position of strength. Some of the things I'm sharing with you, I wish someone had shared them with me in '83 when I got married.
We have Constancia Isuma, and she's saying, thanks, Uncle.
Welcome.
Adesi May Eugene is saying, great, I think, in relation to what you discussed. Constancia Isuma is laughing here. We have Linda Usonu saying thank you, as well as Kofi Temple. Alfred Osebwate is asking, Uncle, a friend of mine is married and cheated on his wife. And since then, the lady doesn't trust him. What should my friend do to correct this mistake, please?
If it's been a long time and the woman cannot get over it, then bring in a third party, bring in a counselor. That will help the two of you walk through this. But I hope your friend is putting out confidence-building measures to the wife to show that she will not be hurt again. Let your friend not dismiss the pain of his wife. He should not say, oh, get over it. Oh, it's all red. No. He should allow her to go through the healing process. And don't rush it. It will happen when it will happen. In the meanwhile, let your friend continue to give her reasons to trust him on a daily basis.
For Mary, what does it mean if you can't even say a prayer with your beloved? Are you meant to be?
Oh, yes, why not? And pray your prayer. And pray your prayer to cover him as well. As long as he prays, I think you are fine. The two of you don't need to be together to pray. But you could pray in spirit. You could pray in agreement. And that is fine.
We have Blessed Asamoah. And he says this is his first time here, and he loves it.
I'm happy you do, and I hope you continue to stay with us.
William Nana Asari is asking a question. He says, Uncle, please, how can I deal with a lady who always forgets things and doesn't care about anything?
Well, that is why you married her, isn't it? And that's if you've married her. You are her memory. So be her memory. Be her memory and don't resent it. It's also possible that she has strengths that complements you. So, hey, that is what you've got. So, move on.
Okay, we have Abinat A. Asamoah. She says, Uncle Ebo, is there anything like a woman not working when she has a home to take care of? It even becomes more involving when there are children.
Yeah.
I urge such home managers to dress well and prepare to welcome their husbands home, just like a corporate worker will, because home management is no joke.
No, home management is no joke, and you are right about that, except that the bit that you said about they should dress like corporate women, the point is, when the children are young, it is impossible to do that, especially if you don't get the support of your spouse. It is impossible. Can you imagine? So you dress to welcome your spouse, and then Junior has just soiled himself and is running to you. What do you do? So we must appreciate it. Yes, but you are right that we underestimate what it means to be a homemaker. We underestimate it. And men should admire the sacrifice their wives make when they become homemakers for the sake of the man and the children.
Tell Isaac Asando, Akuna, Angelina Matefio, Jay Quay, Trisha Nouveau, and Joseph Wiseau. We see you all. Uncle, this one is from Viva. So, Uncle, question though. Is it okay for a woman to use a sex toy in place of a dick that doesn't work well? You see, this is so that the woman doesn't cheat.
Ekia, don't bring your things. Well, that is my daughter, Ekia, and she is crazy, and her positions on these things are way far out. Wonderful lady, but she just likes causing mischief. So that is one of her mischief.
Okay, we have Ohima Ama Oparibia. She says, I and my husband-to-be are almost done with our counseling, but I feel like giving up because I feel he doesn't appreciate me, and almost every time we fight. Please help me, Uncle.
Well, have a chat. Go back to your counselor and raise this with him. The point is that he himself may be lost. Men it takes us time to discover how to make a woman feel loved and appreciated. It doesn't come naturally to us, so don't write him off. Maybe he has a lot to learn. Give him the chance to learn. Bring in the counselor to help the two of you, and I think you'll be fine.
From Sandy, Uncle, must you always agree to your husband? Must you always agree to whatever your husband says, even though it might not favor you or might not favor you all?
If he insists on it, it is his decision to make. So, unfortunately, you'll have to go along with it. What mature women do is that they play along. Because if it is a foolish decision, the results will show. And then when the results show, then hopefully he may appreciate your input better the next time. So instead of fighting him, let him have the way, let it go. When it hits the wall and hits the brake, nobody will tell him that the decision he took was not the best. And then he will remember your inputs. And next time, he will value your inputs even more.
Juliet Akapo says thank you, I think, for the response you gave.
Welcome.
We have Lodina Jabing, and she's asking, so Uncle, if you see the decision your husband has made won't go well, should you keep quiet because you want to show respect?
Make your input, but be wise in the way you make an input. And sometimes I wonder why women even worry about some of these things, because you have such a powerful tool to make a man change his mind. Let me tell you how your mother did it with your father. She waited at dawn after she had satisfied him sexually. Then she tells him, Kojo, I want us to revisit the decision you've made. It will not help us. And at that time, the man has no other choice to say, oh, really? Oh, okay, you can have your way. So pick your time. Pick the time carefully when you make your case. And you would always get your way. Always get your way.
Ewuku says, Uncle, you are looking very handsome. I just love your outfits. Can I read? Oh.
Thank you very much, Tina. I appreciate that very much. Except that the monkeys in the zoo are making too much noise.
Please, is respect and submission the same in the context of marriage?
They go together. Respect is a component of submission. It is a component of submission. So you can't say, I submit to my husband, but I don't respect him. The two, that cannot work.
From Nana B. Uncle, is it possible that a dating relationship that has lasted 5 years to transition to marriage peacefully?
Yes, it is. But why are you waiting for 5 years? Why? What's happening? Who is not ready? Or are you still in school? But 5 years, I think the two of you should be ready. And I hope you take the step, and I wish you all the best.
Uncle, I wish my husband and I will meet you personally. We love you and all you share. Say thank you to your wife for sharing you with us. She's a great woman.
She is indeed, and thank you very much. Oh, by the way, this month is her birthday on the 30th, so you could send her a message and she would appreciate that. She likes fans. She likes a lot of fans, so give her fans.
Okay, Uncle, we have a question from Ajwa Dansoa Ewuzi. She says, Uncle, I wish... Okay, she just read that one. So Mabna Wiasiba says, Uncle, I'm married to a Muslim man, even though I'm still a Christian, and very happy for the past 5 years. I want the happiness to be more and stable. Any advice?
Then just continue going back to the basics. The things you've done that have worked, never take them for granted. Just keep loving each other, caring for each other, and appreciating each other. And I think it will be fine. And I like the fact that you could be so confident in your marriage. Well done. I think you are blessed.
I have one from Ashedi Abna. She says, Uncle, please, in your own way, who is an ideal man that is ready for marriage?
You're asking the wrong question, young lady. The question is the question is not who is the right man for you or the ideal man for you. The question is, are you the ideal girl for any man? So work at answering that. Be the ideal lady, and you would attract the ideal man. We attract who we are. Don't forget that. The husband anybody has, that person deserves that husband by who she is. The wife any man has, that man deserves that wife by who he is. You become better, you get a better wife. You become better, you get a better husband. So the question should be, what can I do to become the ideal lady?
Okay, we have Solomon Lambs. He says, Uncle, I like your response.
You're welcome, Solomon. I wonder if it was your question and I had answered it that way, whether you still like the response, especially if it hasn't gone your way. But thank you very much.
From Evans, Uncle, my neighbor's wife will fight any lady, even if they are married.
Okay, wait. Start again.
From Evans Buama.
Yes.
Uncle, my neighbor's wife will fight any lady, even if they are married. Who sits in front of the... Okay, sorry. My neighbor's wife will fight any lady, even if they are married. These are ladies who sit in the front seat of her husband's car, because she says women are bad and can lure her husband with their conversation. It's now a big issue in the house.
That's from Evans.
Yes, please.
Evans, if I hold Benny.
Oh.
This is your neighbor's house. Why? Yeah, please, let's go on.
From Sophia, how do you deal with a stubborn husband who, even though knows he's wrong, will not listen to the counsel from anyone?
Sophia, the fact that you describe your husband as stubborn means that the problem is not with him, but with you and the way you see him. So change the way you see him, and you get better results from him.
From Afome, how should I respond to an interrogation if I feel I cannot stand it?
This from Afome. If it is Afome I know, then I know he has gone through interrogation before. I think he went through 4 or 5 levels of interrogation and so survived. Afome, good afternoon. Just be yourself, be genuine, and be consistent, and that is all.
Uncle, Ahidi Abna is here. She says, wow. Thanks very much for the response. You speak with experience and grace.
Thank you very much.
Uncle, you have 2 kids to take care of. By the time your husband gets home, you are tired. How do you deal with both?
Oh, it's a difficult thing, especially when he comes home. He doesn't relieve you of the challenge and the burden of raising the children. But 2 kids, especially when they are young, bubbling with energy. By the time he comes home, I'm sure you are tired, and when you go to sleep, I'm sure all you want to do is to sleep. So, help him to understand this. Help him to appreciate the challenge, and I hope he's the kind of man who would step in to help you out. Do we have somebody in the hot seat?
Yes.
I see 2 people there.
Yes.
You have 2 questions or 1 question with a supporter, with a seconder.
Seconder.
With a seconder.
Seconder is not married.
All right, okay.
Backing vocals.
All right.
Our question,
Kwamina, go.
or our comment is...
The person you are seeing is Kwamina. Kwamina is one of the reasons why we get the technology, our technical aspects of our platform right. A humble guy, but incredibly gifted. So, Kwamina, ask your question.
Uncle, on behalf of the ENCORE team, we want to wish Mrs. Florence Sandra White happy
birthday in advance.
You guys are cheap. No. Shame on you. You guys are cheap, Papa. Listen.
Uncle, wait.
This is Thank you.
Cheap boys, listen to me. What you've just done for my wife.
Please,
is
can you cut
non-scoring.
transmission?
Uncle, we have a better wish.
And I'll tell you why it is not scoring. You know where to find her on her birthday. So on the day, get to her and give it to her. So this one is not scoring.
Yes.
Because if anyone watching us sends an advance happy birthday, I would accept.
Yes, that's what we are.
You guys,
that's what we are doing. That's what we are doing.
You guys know how to reach her. So, Kai, you are giving an advance so you don't bring a cake. You live. Go get a card. Go get a card. Well, guys, thank you very much, but you are cheap.
Uncle, we have a question. This is from Aku. Uncle, I'm in this long-distance relationship with a guy who I feel I don't trust. He gives me every reason not to. I've spoken to him about it, but he seems not to be bothered at all. What should I do? I love him.
Yeah, you love him, but do you love yourself? If you love yourself, you will not take a situation where somebody is cheating on you and has no intention of changing. Love yourself enough to take the kind of decision you need to take. And I'm sure you know the decision you need to take. I think we should take the last question and then we'll bring this to a close.
Okay, we have Nana Ohime Metal. He says, what happens to a wife who doesn't take instructions but expects you to take hers?
What's the name?
Nana Ohime Metal.
Oh, Nana. This question. It means that you are not playing your role right as a husband. Please play it right. Find a way of becoming a better husband, a better head of your household. Women love to follow. They love to submit to a man whom they can look up to, a man whose judgment they can trust, whose strengths become evident, a man who is admirable. Be that kind of man, and you wouldn't have to fight this kind of power game with your wife, because that's what it's coming to. It's become a power game in your home. Well, I'd like to thank...
Sorry to cut you. I think Nana B wants to respond to the reason why it's been 5 years.
Okay.
He's saying it started before they went to the university.
Okay.
So I think they want to finish school. Yeah.
Oh, then he shouldn't have asked the question. All right. Anyway, so thank you very much to Nana B and all of you who have come in, who have asked questions. I don't take the fact that you stay with me every Friday from 12:30 to 1:30 for granted. I know, especially if you are doing this from Ghana, I know the cost of data, and I know how expensive it is. So thank you very much. May God sustain and bless every one of you. May God keep you. May the coming days bring you joy and bring you fulfillment. May you attain significance in your career. And in your home, may there be harmony and may there be healing. Stay blessed, and God willing, see you next Friday, 12:30. See you. Stay blessed.
Madina, Madam, Aula,
Be your own DJ with MTN Music Plus. Download and install the MTN Music Plus app from Google Play Store and stream your customized playlist anytime, anywhere. MTN Music Plus. Just press play.
MTN.
4G is non-stop music. It's sharing and entertainment without buffering. gaming with no lag, and movies with full immersion. 4G is business without restrictions. It's also smarter money. It's learning beyond borders. Achievement without limits. And health for everyone. It's love, family, joy, and everything else. 4G is life. Get a 4G device today and live on the next level. MTN 4G. Hello, future.
MTN. Everywhere you go.
Hello. They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO of Roman Productions, but I'm also very